Well, if you're watching this video, then chances are you are on the fence of buying an SSD, but you're not sure if the investment would be worth it. Yeah, well, in this video I'm going to explain the basic SSD types and how each will impact your performance, and which one would serve you better for your use case. Let's get to it. There are basically three types of SSDs. The best, absolute fastest one is the Nvme Ssd. The E stands for Express, meaning that it uses the express bus lanes on your motherboard. Those are the fastest communication line between the CPU and the I/O devices. That basically means that, save for your RAM, this SSD will be blazing fast. We are talking about anywhere from 6 to 8 times faster than your standard hard drive. Yeah, it's crazy. They also last a very long time with the built-in error checking and all that good stuff. But the problem is they are also very expensive. And only few high-end laptops and desktops will have NVMe expandable slots. So if you have an old system, chances are you are out of luck. But here's the good news, you don't have to go for Nvme SSDs if you are looking to upgrade your performance. There are also the second type of SSDs, they're called M.2 SSDs. As the name suggests, these SSDs go into the M.2 slots that you have, like the one that your network card is plugged into. Now some laptops have a spare M.2 slot where you can plop in this SSD, but mine doesn't, so I didn't go for this. These SSDs also offer some crazy performance, anywhere from 4 to 5 times higher than your standard hard drive. So if you have a spare slot on your laptop and you can afford this budget, definitely go for it. The third and the most practical kind of SSDs are the SATA SSD, Sata3 to be precise. These SSDs have the exact same kind of connector that your hard drive uses, so you can basically swap your hard drive with an SSD and call it a day. Now among all the other SSDs, these are the slowest ones, but even at their slowest speed, SSDs are anywhere from 1.5 to 2 times faster than the average hard drive, so it's definitely worth an upgrade. Now Nvme and M.2 are better options if you already have a fully functional high-end laptop, but you want to upgrade the storage alongside a hard drive. But if you have an old machine that's running slow and you're thinking of recycling it or throwing it away, consider upgrading it to an SSD because it'll be a breath of fresh air for that machine, trust me. That's what I ended up doing with my old laptop. I replaced the 500GB hard drive with the 250GB SSD. Now I don't really need a lot of space, I don't store a lot of things on my PC and I just use the browser and a couple of other applications like MS Office. So 250GB is enough for me. If you want more, then by all means shop for a better one. Like a wise man once said, 1GB is 1GB. So it doesn't matter what kind of storage media you're picking, as long as you're okay with the capacity you can go ahead with it. I picked the Kingston SSD in my case. It's a 240GB version which I got for a decent price, so I ordered it. Now you may be surprised when you pick an SSD that how light it actually is. It's not really surprising considering how an SSD is made. It doesn't have any mechanical components or moving parts. It's basically just a bunch of memory chips on a PCB. It's just like a RAM stick. If you have a spare RAM stick, pick it up and weigh it in your hand. That's about the same as an SSD. That's another upside of these things, to be used on mobile devices like laptops. It'll make them lighter even if it is by a small margin. Installing this is the simplest thing ever. You basically just open up the hard drive slot of your laptop. This changes from one model to another, but most laptops have a separate door here which gives you access to the hard drive. Make sure that the laptop is turned off first, obviously, and then unscrew and remove the hard drive and keep it to a side. Since the SSD has the same connector, you basically have to wiggle it a little bit, and there we go. It's plugged in now and you can proceed to install an OS. Obviously when you remove your hard drive, your entire data is in that hard drive, including an OS, so you need to install Windows or whatever operating system you prefer. So make sure you have a bootable media ready. I already have mine. You may notice that the installation speed for the Windows OS is crazy fast with SSDs. It takes under 10 minutes to do so. I had already measured some benchmarks before swapping out my hard drive, so now that the SSD is in, let's compare those. First, the boot up time. Now this may not matter much because even with a hard drive my system would boot up under 30 seconds. Not bad for an 8-year-old laptop. Let's try and open up Firefox and see how quickly it launches. But the biggest change came with the applications. They would open up faster and they would generally be more responsive. Memory hungry applications like Firefox or Google Chrome, they open up faster and remain in memory longer with an SSD. I wondered if the CPU usage would go down if I switch between multiple tabs and operate on all those tabs at the same time, but I didn't really see major differences. I guess that's a bottleneck with laptops because you can't really replace the CPU. Oh well, I'm happy with the performance here. General day-to-day tasks have drastically improved and the laptop goes to sleep and wakes up much faster now. I can finally call my machine as a reliable workstation again. Hopefully I won't have to deal with any weird boot loop issues anymore. Now what would you do with this extra hard drive that you have? Now you can choose to store it away, but that would be a waste. So I suggest to get an external hard drive case like this one. This one from Orico is, well, it's not really made that well. It's made of plastic and it feels pretty flimsy. But it has a SATA to USB-B type connector. Yeah, in case you didn't know, this is USB-B. And they even include a USB-B to USB-A cable, which is USB 3.0. That's a lot of USBs. So this way you can convert your internal hard disk drive into an external hard disk drive and basically use it as a kind of a backup data storage. That's the best use for hard drives in my opinion. Since they are very inexpensive, you can buy a good capacity hard drive and keep it as a storage device and not something that you boot up and use every day. They're not that great for running operating systems and heavy programs all the time. Well, anyway, this was a worthwhile upgrade in my opinion. Hope you learned something new here. I hope that answers your question of whether an SSD is worth it or not. If you're looking to resurrect an old machine or improve its performance in general, then yeah, definitely it's worth it. Your machine would instantly feel 2 times faster than before. Unless there's something else seriously wrong with your laptop, I suggest you save your money, get an SSD and prolong its life by another couple of years. Alright, that's been it for now. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, and until next time, take it easy and I'll see you soon. Cheers.